Yes! Get in there, my son! The Dutch Kojak's gone! Fucking have it! Yes, mate! Finally, we don't have to put up with this absolute fucking garbage, fucking Dutch Kojak, Ten Heisenberg, gas-breaking bad, absolute awful fucking what the hell is that football, mate? Come on! Get in there, my son! Finally! Ding dong! The witch is dead! Let's fucking go! Yes, lads! How are we all doing today? It's the Flying Pig here on it's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little video for you guys. Just woke up today, flicked on my phone there and saw that the news has indeed been announced. Manchester United have parted ways with Erik Ten Hag after 2.5 years of absolute complete mediocre Guff dross. I'm still waking up, but we've woken up in a good mood today, guys. Yes, indeed. To be fair, United are just absolutely rubbish at the moment, and the main culprit, I suppose, would have to be Erik Ten Hag after having nearly 2.5 years in the job, over £600 million, to have this Manchester United side in 14th position after 9 games and having scored less goals than Ipswich Town in the league is justification enough to be sent on his way. Look, nobody wants to see managers sacked. Obviously, I'm happy that Erik Ten Hag's gone because I think personally he's not the right guy for the job and he's shite. But nobody wants to see managers sacked. We want to see a project in progression. We want to see things getting better periodically. You don't want to have to reset every couple of years and pay off a manager with a big money compensation package like we have done with Erik Ten Hag. You don't want to have to then rebuild again and have a new manager with a new vision and a new approach come in and have to spend more money. Nobody wants to do that, guys. So in one respect, I'm very sad, obviously, that it's not worked out with Erik Ten Hag at United. But then on the other hand, finally, he's gone. And he should have gone probably towards the end of last season or even after the FA Cup win. Even though the FA Cup win was brilliant, I think the writing was on the wall for the sort of style of football we were going to have to put up with here at Manchester United for a while. There was question marks about certain personnel. He was allowed to bring in lots of new players in the summer. Has it really worked out? I mean, most of the signings he's made have been bang average. So there's many reasons why Erik Ten Hag has lost his job. I think the main reason is, well, his performance as United manager in terms of results both in Europe and domestically, other than that FA Cup, for about 18 months has been absolutely raw dog turd shite. So that's the first thing. Second thing, he has had plenty of time now and plenty of resources to be able to do the job. Thirdly, he looks like a conehead. No, I'm joking. Fourthly, the guy wears a fucking gilet on the touchlines, guys. Get your gilet, get your gilet, get your gilet out our club. You know what I mean? Sorry, guys, I shouldn't be this happy, should I? I really shouldn't. It's actually just kind of harsh. I'm happy about somebody losing their job. Don't feel bad for Erik Ten Hag, my friends, as I've told you many times. Do not feel bad for Erik. This guy's just got an absolute lottery win. Oh, he's just come in for a couple of seasons managing at United, something that most of us would probably give our left bollock to do for free. And he's getting paid a shitload of cash. He's sorted out his whole club, Ajax, like you wouldn't believe, with a shitload of money from player sales and stuff. Here you go, we'll just have Martinez off you and that gashbag Anthony Dos Gastos fidget spinner mill. And we'll give you 85 million for him. Nice, yeah? Okay, great. I'll be back in a couple of years to spend it. You know what I mean? Erik Ten Hag sorted his whole club right out. He stitched us right up, if we're being honest. Because, as I say, we've gone down this road of this project for a couple of years. We have We have spent huge money on his vision to sign the players that he wants. And now it's on somebody else to have to come in here. Ruud van Nistelrooy, I think, has obviously been given the job in the temporary situation, but it's on someone to come in long term and then get the best out of these actual players that Erik Ten Hag signed. So this is a proper Erik Ten Hag set of players here, and that's not good. Oh no, that's not good. Like, I don't know who's somebody's going to have to come in and get this band of ragamuffins to perform, aren't they? By the way, everybody who's in here, thank you very much for joining us for today's show. We've got plenty to get into. To boost this up there on the algorithm, though, guys, and get us out there to compete with clickbait wankers and corporation melts, please do give us a big thumbs up right now. Give us a like spike on this video, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get involved in the live chat. We want to hear from you legends as we go on through the show. But yeah, huge news this morning, guys. Daniel McHale, thanks for your super chat. He says, if United stuck with Jose, things would have been fine. Maybe. Jose was a winner. If he'd have been backed in that third final season there, you never know. He did get a pretty gash-tastic United side to finish second. Jose's not on the table, though. Who is on the table? That's the new question, really. No, Cinnamon, obviously we blame the players, right? So a lot of these players are shite. But a lot of these players Erik Ten Hag brought in, so the overall responsibility of these gashbag players does actually lie with Ten Hag. What about the process? I mean, so in my opinion, obviously you've got to try and give managers plenty of time in these new jobs. Like Erik Ten Hag was given probably more time than most in that sort of situation where he's not doing particularly well. He did win a couple of trophies. I guess that helped him. But yeah, no, he was given plenty of time. I don't feel bad that Erik Ten Hag wasn't given time. I mean, if in fact he was given too much time, he was extended in the summer, his contract. And we could have probably seen him go a long time ago. I mean, we were saying in the summer, well, they've given him this contract extension now. So we won't ever have that question about what if. What if we'd have stuck with Ten Hag? What if we'd have stuck with him and it actually turned out to be awesome this season? He wins the FA Cup and we're going to sack him. What if, though? We better stick with him for a bit. I sort of understand the thinking behind it. Plus, there was no other actual top manager available who wanted to take the job, seemingly. But I can understand why they stuck with him a little bit longer. But yeah, now it's pretty apparent he's not the guy. It's pretty clear he's going to just continue down this path of playing absolutely dross-guff football. This is fucking awesome, guys! Finally, we might get a club back. If we can get somebody in, or even in the short term, like Ruud van Nistelrooy here, who's just come in as interim, like, if he can just change the mentality overnight, which is going to be possible. You're not going to be able to change years of tactics and years of tactical abuse, to be honest with you, from the gash bag Erik Ten Hag. You're not going to change that overnight, but you can change mentality and approach and things like that, which could be enough to get us onto the winning path again. So it's really good news, guys, for us, because we needed to get somebody else in. You know, nobody wanted to see Erik fail, but he's failed. And we needed to get somebody else in. United 14th in the league. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Oh, Zamiasi, thank you very much for ordering yourself a t-shirt and an Iron Man off of my eBay store there. I appreciate you, Zamiasi. Come on, Zane, let's go. Southgate in. Well, that's one of the main concerns that we've all got now, is who will end up sort of being the next permanent manager. I've actually got a little chart here. This is in order of who's most likely. So obviously Ruud van Nistelrooy at the top there, because he's been given the job interim, right? So he's got the opportunity there really to prove himself and to potentially play himself into the permanent managerial role. Ruben Amorim obviously is another big name, from the Portuguese league that's been linked with us. You've got Gareth Southgate apparently is the third favourite for the job. Do one paper bag head waistcoat merchant. We don't want to go from one vest wearer to another. You know what I mean? We've already just got rid of Gilet boy. We don't want waistcoat merchant in there. No, definitely not. Xavi, okay, I would have Xavi just because I feel like he's got to be better than Erik Ten Hag. He's not too high up on my list. Thomas Frank is an interesting one. Always quite like the way Brentford go about it. But obviously stepping up to a big club like Manchester United, it is a different animal. Michael Carrick, ex-United player, managed us a few times in the interim after Ollie, and has been doing well over there at Middlesbrough, so he was an option as well. McKenna, another coach linked previously with us, obviously doing well at his current club as well. Potter, no thanks. Allegri, interesting. Zidane doesn't want us, so do want. Inzaghi, also interesting. So there's a lot of options here, guys. I'll just ask the live chat simply right now, out of this list of current managers here, Never mind saying Carlo Ancelotti or whoever, because they're just not available right now. But out of this list of managers right here, this is the top, what is that, 12 or 13? I don't know. Candidates that are linked with the Manchester United job. Have your say who you would like to see appointed as the next permanent United manager. I mean, I guess there's no point saying Ruud van Nistelrooy right now because he's going to need time to prove himself into the job. So it's not like he's going to be in line for the permanent managerial job right now. He's going to have to prove himself if that's the case. Aaron Jones says Nagelsmann. Now, that's another good shout as well. Obviously, currently, could be available for us in the future. So that's actually quite interesting. Has he taken Anthony with him? No. He hasn't, unfortunately, but he might do one day. I could see a future where Erik Ten Hag is reappointed manager of Ajax, and then he just puts in a bid for Anthony Dos Gastos and signs him back to Ajax for around about £1 million. Cut price deal. You know what I mean? I could see that happening. Oh, we paid 85 million for him, but we could probably, let's face it, get 20 mil for that guy if we sold him tomorrow. So, not the most realistic. By the way, yes, Aaron Jones, thank you for that. Nagelsmann is an interesting shout. Absolument. Javi, let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat then. We got, yeah, I like Eddie Howe also, mate. Always been impressed by his just raw coaching ability, you know, to go in and use what he's got available to him, whether it's at Bournemouth, whether it's at Burnley, whether it's at Newcastle. Use what he's got available to him. And they've always done pretty well. I really rate Eddie Howe. I don't know if he'd be interested in coming, but how could you turn the job offer down? Amarim Im, says Chris Koo. Yes, lad, that could be definitely. Well, what I like about Amarim is he's showing like huge potential to be one of the next top coaches, you know, and like obviously he doesn't have that experience within our own domestic league. But it's not the be-all and end-all. If you're a good coach, you're a good coach, and you can go in there and you can do the job. Carrick's your pick, is it? Yeah, nice one. Hi there, Viking Red. He's gone finally. Ding dong, the Wicked Witch is dead. Come on. His red slippers are curling up under the house as we speak. You know what I mean? To be fair to him, he's bloody loving this, mate. I mean, he is and he isn't. I kind of got the impression over the last few weeks that he was a defeated man and he was kind of resigned to the fact that he was going to go. So from his point of view, he can go and spend lots of time with his family now with an extra 17 million quid in the bank. Thank you very much there, Shani. Get in there. Amarim from Sporting, please. Yeah, you called it. You take Xavi, Lampard. Okay, then. Hey, what's going on there, Johnny? Steve, Bruce. Anyway, so there's lots of options here. You've said some very good ones there, guys. Let's see what United do. Obviously, right now, it does seem that Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to be given the opportunity, at the very least, to take over. And it's funny, isn't it? I think we all were aware this was a possibility. After Ruud was actually appointed. It was a little bit of a strange appointment to make Ruud van Nistelrooy Ten Hag's assistant in the summer, just because Ruud had actually had a proper gig, you know, at PSV as a first coach, you know, the first team coach. So it was a bit strange him going to be somebody's assistant, but I think that there was a conversation probably had there with Ruud van Nistelrooy at some point just to say, Erik Ten Hag's a bit of a melter, lad. If he does indeed melt, you're there to step in and we'll give you a chance. I think that's kind of what's happened. Chris Koo, legend Chris Koo, that's awesome. You got your t-shirt this morning, Pig. Thank you. Thank you so much for ordering one there, lad. Please do make sure to leave me eBay feedback, my good friend. Nice one. Zane's already done it. Thanks for the feedback there, Zane. Appreciate you, lad. Cheers for that, Chris Koo. Yeah, there you go. Exactly, Andre. He's a top coach. He's made Sporting champions. Exactly. So if you're good enough, it doesn't really matter if you don't have the Premier League experience. We'd all rather Premier League experience, wouldn't we? We'd rather somebody like, I don't know, an Emery or an Eddie Howe or somebody like that, just simply because they've got that experience. They know what they're dealing with. There's not that uncertainty, that adaptation period of having to come in and, you know, like Ten Hag had to go through. There's not any of that. They already know English football like the back of their hands. So I think that would be, a positive, but it's not the be-all and end-all. AML says he's honestly the worst United manager I've seen in my lifetime. Wow, AML, yeah, I mean, he's up there. He's up there. So I've only seen Fergie and post-Fergie since my entire lifetime. We're very lucky, actually, when I was a wee nipper growing up in the 90s watching the football, that it was just one guy. Sir Alex Ferguson, one guy, just overseeing things for decades. Pretty amazing, really. You're not going to see that again these days, really. But yes, he was probably the worst I've seen in that time. I mean, we've had some guff ones. Moisey, in terms of who's a better manager out of David Moyes and Erik Ten Hag, it's literally not even close. Like, David Moyes is just a better manager than Erik Ten Hag in a lot of ways. So, but he was only given 8 months in the job and nowhere near the resources that Erik Ten Hag was given. So, yeah, Ten Hag definitely had a fair crack at it, didn't he? Dave W. said Mourinho said he'd manage the team in the bottom half. Oh, my God. I mean, we could do a lot worse than Jose. Jose fundamentally doesn't really fit Manchester United, though. Because of his style, and he's a little bit volatile, controversial sort of guy. He doesn't really fit Manchester United properly, but he is no doubt a great winner and a great coach, and he would do probably a much better job than Erik Ten Hag. Thank you, Heed, there, for the super chat as well, lad. He says, hang on, he says, the main issue is with the top management. Ronaldo was right. Fix the gym and change the damn cook. See you later on, Doris the tea lady. You've been slacking. Your Yorkshire Gold's been tasting like regular Yorkshire tea lately. What's been going on? No, yeah, fair enough there, Heed. But the thing is, that's all well and good. And I understand what you're saying. And that's been true for, years now. That's absolutely true. What, 17 years or whatever it is? However long. That's true. Since basically Glazer shithousery and obviously post-Fergie, we've really felt it. But you say that, right? However, okay, I get you. That's true. But you have to give Ineos some time to actually change those things. So Ineos came in last summer. Basically, this summer just gone really where they've been able to shape the club. They've got rid of certain people. They've brought in people like Ashworth, people like Barada, and they've done a lot in terms of the backroom staff, okay?
Get in there, my
now,
son.
the top management, the rest of the hierarchy and everyone who's actually making these decisions, supposedly now, it's Ineos who are in charge of the football operations within the club. So surely now it's down to these guys, right? So yes, the previous regime, people like Eddie Woody Woodward, the Potato Head, and obviously the Glazer shithouses and these guys, pathetic. But hopefully now we are going to start to see some better decisions and a better run club. That's the whole point of giving Ineos control there and allowing them to bring in sort of who they want in the backroom staff, etc. But I don't actually believe... So what you said here is the main issue is the top management. I think it was. I think the main issue was the top management, absolutely, and how they run the club from the top down. But I must say, I don't actually believe that's the case anymore, because Ten Hag's had plenty of time, over 2 years, and he's had the resources available to spend, over £600 million. He's been allowed to go back to his old teams, his old leagues, and sign whoever he wants, just based off his say-so, essentially. And he's had plenty of time and money available to him to actually get what he needs out of the side, and he hasn't been able to do so. So yeah, okay, the gym, the cook, whatever, okay, facilities, they're going to be improved over time with hopefully Ineos at the wheel now. That's the plan anyway. We'll see if it actually comes into fruition. They've already done things with the training complex and that kind of thing, so they've definitely tried to do a little bit. They need to do a lot more. But actually, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think the main issue now was simply Erik Ten Hag, because of the time, money, and the style of football we're playing. He had loads of time, loads of money, and we're playing shite stylistic football. So no, it was the issue, but now the issue, I think, was Erik Ten Hag, personally. Ryan Martin, yeah, sad, but was going to happen. Repeating this cycle isn't the answer. Fact, fans that think manager is the only problem shows we have learned nothing. 2 trophies. Okay, no. It's very good timing what you just said, Ryan. Because I was literally just talking about that before your comment that, yeah, okay, fair enough. The ownership, the management from the top down at this club has been pathetic for so long. But actually, Ten Hag has been afforded time. He wasn't sacked off after 8 months like David Moyes. So I personally think that you can't just stick with Erik Ten Hag. That would be the most foolish thing to do in the world. Just stick with somebody who's got you scoring no goals, got you in a relegation battle, won 1 in 12 in Europe, etc. When you're Man United, you can't be just sticking with Erik Ten Hag under those conditions. He had to at least help himself out a little bit by reaching a certain standard and getting results along the way, even if there was going to be some bad patches here and there. He had to keep up to a certain standard, which he didn't do. So I don't know about that, boss. Andy reckons, Pig, it's pretty clear from the news that Xavi's hands down favourite to be next manager, but realistically no one will be successful while players having their contracts that they have to start. Fair enough. I mean, that is a speculation on your front there, really, Andy. I mean, it does make sense, I suppose, when you see players like Gashford starting, when Rashford has literally been pretty poor for a long period of time, yet he still plays. But I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I don't know if the new manager's going to come in and have to play certain players. Surely it's down to the manager who he thinks is the best squad end of the day, Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel, Ryan. It's sad, but it was necessary. Things were getting ridiculous. Onwards and upwards. Rude's Red Army. Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see Rude, see what he can do with United. So I'm going to the PAOK game on the 7th of November at Old Trafford. And I must admit, I'm buzzing now. I'm buzzing now because I think we're probably getting an attacking good game of football where we can get at them. Whereas with Erik Ten Hag as manager, I was expecting a shit show. You know, I really was expecting a bore fest. So I'm buzzing about that. I'm thinking there might be an attacking intent and some goals and some quality on display. By the way, thank you, Ryan, for subscribing. Thank you, Kinyash, for subscribing there. Nice one. Yes, if you guys are new, guys, take a second. We've got 761 legends in here. Get yourself subscribed to the channel if you're new to the channel. We are a Manchester United fan channel. We cover all the latest news in a no bullshit, no clickbait way. So get yourself involved by subscribing and also click the thumbs up on the video. That would be amazing and help us out too. Yes. Well, okay, so let's actually talk about that for a second, Must Play. So you say Erik Ten Hag is gone now. Now the players. So we've been calling for players' heads for seasons now. Seasons upon seasons, and we've slowly managed to get some of them gone. Players like Martial, you know, even players like McTominay, who in hindsight we probably should have kept. But even players like him. Loads of players we talked about for years that they need to go. Some of them are still here. That's true. People like Slappy Maguire, Lindelof. You know, there's underperformers even in the senior hierarchy of the team. People like Rashford and stuff. There's definitely underperformers. But, you know, he was allowed to bring in all the players that he wanted to. And now he's going to have left the next manager with a bunch of players that, well, he wanted and maybe somebody else doesn't. I mean, Joshua Zirkzee seems all right, guys. From what I've seen from him, he seems pretty decent, but he also seems kind of bang average right now. He's not a ready-made player for the Premier League, is he? And also, I don't even know clearly what his role is. Certainly not the way Ten Hag was utilising him anyway. Actually, you know what? In terms of players, so a lot of the players, yes, they've proven themselves to us. But in terms of the new players, apart from players like Anthony Dos Santos, who are clearly shite, but certainly players like Højlund, Zirkzee, Ugarte, all these newish players, right, they've still got so much to prove to us, and they will be given the opportunities. And I believe that a new manager coming in, even with this set of players, can get them to play a lot better. There was a problem with the system that we were playing under Erik Ten Hag, and these new signings just were not fitting into the system well. I think that's why you've seen Bruno Fernandes look so bang average for so long, is because the system's shite. In the right system, you know, tactically speaking, I believe that these players can do well. I think we have signed some good players. I do actually think Zirkzee has a good potential for the future. He's just not shown it yet, probably due to the team being so gash and the system being so poor. So, you know, I still think we can see a lot out of these players. But yeah, no, some of these players still need to go, no doubt. Of course they do. Of course they do. Yeah, fair enough. Gutted he's gone, but doesn't change the players you have. See, this is it. Every other rival fan is going to be gutted that Erik Ten Hag is actually been sacked now. That's the situation. Doesn't change the players we have, but maybe we don't need to change the players we have. Remember Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa? I'm just going to use this analogy again, guys. Sorry for anyone who's heard this before. Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa, absolute gashbag of a manager. Yeah, of course. Absolute gashbag of a manager. Unai Emery steps in. Oh, hi there, Unai. What's that? Same set of players, is it? Same set of players that Stevie Gerrard was struggling to get a tune out of just last week. Okay, Unai, do your best, mate. And then guess what's happened now? He's got them playing well. He's got them doing bits. Yes, now he's added a couple. But overnight, more or less, he was able to change that current squad of players and get them to be a decent team. So it's just about coaching. You know, we don't have the best squad in the league, but we've certainly not got the worst. We do have a squad with all the money we spent on the players we've got in there, big internationals, capable of at least getting top four, you know, with the right manager at the wheel. So I think that's definitely on the cards, mate, for the future. Some manager coming in and actually they don't even have to spend anything. Just coach the team better. Coach the current set of players better. Exactly, Chris Koo. That's what I'm talking about. Come take Big Ange off of us. Hey, mate, Big Ange is somebody that I admire because he goes for it. He plays attacking football. And he seems like a decent bloke, mate. You know, seems like a decent bloke. Fair play to Big Ange. But no, he actually goes for it. His teams go for it. I don't think necessarily he's a winner because he's maybe a little bit too gung-ho at times. Maybe that's the case. But actually, no, I like that sort of manager. I like a manager who plays attacking football, just wants to try and win. I would love that. God almighty, I would love that. That's what Man United need, is somebody to come in and just be like an attacking menace. To just go for it, Jurgen Klopp style or whatever. Even if you concede 4, you know, just go for it. Just attack. Get at them. Score goals. We've been starved of goals. Yeah, that's right, Sin Games. Tactics and coaching. We need a top manager now, not no bald fraud. Absolutely. This gilet wearing Dutch Kojak has gone finally. Big Ange can get to Fook. I'm not saying we should go get Big Ange. I'm just saying a manager like that who's got that mentality, got that attacking style. That's why I'm interested. Erik's better than Big Ange. I mean, in terms of what he's won, Erik's won the FA Cup, Erik's won the League Cup. You never take those away from him, to be fair. Thank you, Sing Games. He says, smash up the like button. Let's break it. Cheers for that. Well, again, Arnie Slot's done well, but it's early doors. He has done well, though, to be fair to him. Big Ange is not for sale. Right, let's read the statement that's on manunited.com anyway. Sorry, I haven't even done that yet. 827 legends in it. Welcome in, guys. Thank you for joining. Big news today. Erik Ten Hag has left his role at Man United. Sacked! So let's read the club statement together. Here it says, Erik Ten Hag has left his role as Manchester United men's first-team manager. Erik was appointed in April 2022 and led the club to 2 domestic trophies, winning the Carabao Cup in 2023 and the FA Cup in 2024. We are grateful to Erik for everything he's done during this time with us and wish him well for the future. Ruud van Nistelrooy will now take charge of the team as interim head coach, supported by the current coaching team, whilst a permanent head coach is recruited. Very interesting. So they haven't sacked the backroom staff along with Erik Ten Hag. They've said, well, let's give it to the guys in there other than Ten Hag right now, i.e. Ruud van Nistelrooy, and let them have a chance. Obviously, there's still plenty of managers as well, I guess, could be appointed on a permanent basis if Ruud doesn't do well. But Ruud's got the chance now, guys, yeah. Let's get behind Ruud, guys, yeah? Let's get behind Ruud van Nistelrooy. This is a United club legend. You know, nobody can deny him as a player. One of the greatest goal scorers finishers I've ever seen in my life. Unbelievable. Can he translate that over into management? Doesn't always happen that way, does it? You know, good managers don't always make, or good players don't always make good managers and vice versa. So we'll see. But certainly from what we've seen from him early doors, he did well at PSV in his only managerial position so far. And now he's coming as Ten Hag's assistant. He's not really been... he's not really had much time to do anything, I suppose. Plus, ultimately, decisions were final with Erik Ten Hag, right, for how the team plays, selections, players, that kind of stuff. Ruud probably just brought in as a glorified shooting coach, you know what I mean? So now's the chance for him to see how he's going to get on. What I do like about Ruud, though, is you often saw in games in recent weeks, like Ruud van Nistelrooy definitely has the passion for it. He's on the sidelines. He's shouting some messages out to the players. You know, it's like Ten Hag whispering in his ear, saying, please go and do my job for me, Ruud, anyway. So I'm pretty sure, you know, Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to be a good, passionate lad for us to have in there, even if it's just in the interim. Yeah, exactly. Eric Scarhill, that's a very good comment, because what happened when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, an ex-Man United player, legend, and, you know, taken over as in an interim capacity? I think we went on a run of like 10 wins or something. Well, we certainly had a really great first 10 games when Ole first came in. It was brilliant. We had a proper manager bounce. And that is what we need ultimately right now also. Yeah, poor Erik walking away with 27 million, but he's gutted. It's crazy, isn't it? This guy is the luckiest man in the world. He's failed at his job. He's done shite. He's strung us all along, millions of fans around the world for a long time, saying he's going to start to play this lovely, expansive, you know, quick in transition football, attacking, all this guff. Strung us along for years, spent loads of money. Literally, you could have bought Everton Football Club with the amount of money Ten Hag spent on players. He's done all of that right. And now he gets to walk off with a huge payday like that. It's just crazy, isn't it? Imagine being in that line of work. It would be unbelievable. What a job. What a job. I would love it if that was happened in other lines of work. I'm going to go and work for Dairy Crest as a milkman. Okay? And then a few weeks into the job, after my probation period or whatever, I'm just going to start necking fucking milk bottles slyly as we go and forgetting to deliver certain bottles to certain customers and just dick around because I've got a 5-year contract or a 3-year contract. And they have to pay me off to the end of the contract. So I'm just going to be a complete knob and be shite at my job. So I get a nice 3-year golden handshake, mate. Come on. Then I could just go and sign for Milk and More tomorrow and do the same there, mate. Could you imagine? You know what I mean? This guy's a lucky bastard. He's stitched our club up. He's spent shitloads of money. He's brought all of his Ajax friends into the team. He's basically ruined us, for fuck's sake. And in the process makes himself a very rich man. You know what? Fuck off, Erik Ten Hag, lad. That's right. I know I was saying nobody wants to see anybody sacked, whatever. You know what? Screw that guy, mate. He's had loads of time. He spent shitloads of money. He spent so much cash on cash players at this club. He's actually really hurt us, guys. He's hindered us. It's not only his fault, it's problems with people in the hierarchy at United, like making decisions, just allowing him the freedoms to go and sign these players and stuff, not having proper recruitment processes in place, etc. Just allowing to basically sign his Dutch friends that he's written down on the back of a fag packet. That's basically what's happened. So, it's not necessarily his fault, but I'm just saying he has fucking ruined us. I don't feel 1 ounce of sorrow, really, for Erik Ten Hag, because I don't think he was the right guy. I think he was crap at his job, and I think he stitched this club up for years. That's right. So there you go, Erik Ten Hag. You are gash, lad. Sing Game says, if I was Rude, I'd have turned down the job. Yeah, there you go. Rude Van Nistelrooy getting a haircut right now. You're backing Rude, not the players. That's well said as well, Jonathan. Maybe that's harsh, guys. Maybe that's harsh, Good luck to him. He seems like a nice guy, Erik Ten Hag. He does. He seems like a nice guy. But sorry, there's a certain standard you have to hit, or you have to hit at Man United, and he's missed the mark big time. That's fair enough. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Like, for instance, in the game yesterday, you could make that argument, Kev, that the players are bottlers and stuff. Because the players had many chances. We should have actually won that game 3-0 against West Ham, probably from all the chances we had in the first half. So the players are what's lost us that game, in all fairness. You can't say Ten Hag set us up poorly, because we almost scored 3 in like 20 minutes, and we should have. So you can't say he set us up poorly, but you can in a lot of other games. And also, how's about the second half and sort of the reaction to going down? And he's just overall not been good enough. That's it. It's not just down to one game or a few games. This is the accumulation of games over a very long period of time. Just wait till Rude starts wearing a gilet. If Rude gets top 4 and wins a trophy this season, he should get the permanent. Anything less, I'd go for an experience. That's pretty harsh, though, Ryan, from where we are now. I mean, I know, look, we've still got a lot of the season left, but top 4 from here is going to be difficult. I think top 6 would be a real achievement, actually, from where we're at now. Because top 4, I mean, that's crazy, lad. Interesting, Eugene. How do you know that, though, Eugene? How do you know? We haven't seen him really given much of a chance. He's only managed at PSV. How do you know that? Bit of a dumb comment, Eugene, lad. I wouldn't expect somebody by the name of Eugene, which is the classic geeky smart person's name, to come out with such a dumbass comment there, Eugene, lad. I personally disagree with you, Eugene, because we don't know yet. We don't know yet. Yeah, well, let's just talk about some of the things that Erik Ten Hag fundamentally got wrong during his Man United tenure, right? So he certainly spent way too much money on some gash players. I think 50% of the signings that he's bought in are rubbish. People like Mason Mount, Onana's still questionable. Certainly players like Xerxes Sass and Anthony Dos Santos are just an absolute joke. So loads of players are suspect. He treated some of the players, I guess, poorly. I mean, in a different world, we could have been having Cristiano Ronaldo still banging goals for us. And people would say, Ronaldo's finished. Ronaldo's past it. He can still score goals, like on international duty. He can still score goals here and there. He's still a goal scorer. He's still a great player. Even Ronaldo at 39 is better than most players at 32. Let's be real. So if you'd have had that sort of firepower in your team up front, we probably would have scored a lot more goals than we have. He scored 18 in that first season that he had at Man United in a shit team, really. So I'm pretty sure we would have been able to get more out of Ronaldo. Not saying he was the answer long term because of his age and the Premier League is tough and everything. But yeah, he caused that. Well, not caused, but he had that big rift with Cristiano Ronaldo. If that was managed differently, we could actually still have Ronaldo here now banging in goals for us like some big Portuguese legend. You never know. But because of that whole falling out with Erik Ten Hag, it just made it very difficult. And I think it's not anybody's major fault. It's a split thing. Ronaldo was unprofessional at times too. Of course, leaving the bench early and throwing a strop down the tunnel against Spurs after being asked to come on as a late sub, etc. There was obviously issues and reasons and a clash there. But just a different manager, different managerial style towards Cristiano Ronaldo could have created a lot more squad harmony and also perhaps got a lot more out of us. So that was a mistake. Perhaps it was a mistake. I still think Ronaldo doing that Piers Morgan interview was a joke, mate, and there's enough reason to get sacked off in itself. But yeah, that's an issue. Then also some of the other issues he's had to deal with, with Sancho and some of the players. He's definitely butted a few people's heads, hasn't he? That's what's happened. Adrian Gendrano, thank you for subscribing. And Mika Hannanen as well. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Yes, guys, if you guys are here for the first time here, get yourself involved in the chat by subscribing and smashing the like. Has the open heart surgery been completed? It has been, but unfortunately, the Glazers shithouses are sat in their office, literally playing the kiddies game Operation. That's all. They're not actually doing the open heart surgery. The open heart surgery's not been completed. Ralph Rangnick absolutely spot on when he said that we needed it. We needed to get rid of 10 players and sign 10 new players in. I mean, from that regard, we have kind of done that during the Ten Hag era because he's spent all that money and he has signed 10 players. But no, there was an open heart surgery needed from all areas of the team. I think the backroom staff has obviously had some open heart surgery with a lot of people like Barada and Ashworth, etc. coming in. And then the players certainly has had a bit of surgery, but it's not really like open heart surgery, is it? It's not like it's changed huge amounts of the football club. It's more like a nose job gone wrong. More like a fucking bit of plastic surgery that you've had on your schnoz and you end up looking like that Daniela Westbrook melt or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying. It's like, it's not very good. It's not deep enough surgery, mate, to sort us right out. Yeah, more whack-a-mole than Operation. Chrissy J, how goes it, you legend? Hope you're doing well. 14th in the league. You had to go. He had to go, didn't he? Thank you, Ben Taylor. LFC fan here. Love your humble opinion. You're a top man. My favourite United channel to watch. Big ups to yourself there, Ben Taylor. Now get out, you raw, filthy scouser. Rashford sacked him. Oh, Gashford. Open heart surgery and a Brazilian bum lift. BBL gone wrong. Exactly. You feel sorry for Man United. They sacked the only good thing that they had. It's Alex Ferguson, you mean? Need someone like Keane who takes no shit like Ferguson. Well, from a no shit motivational point of view, Keane would be great. But how's about if you just look at his actual coaching record? It's hit or miss. You know, it's hit or miss. Yeah, right, let's play this game. Carl says, so many players need moving. Also have to question most players' motives for moving to Manchester United, as it's obviously a shit. So that's what I'm talking about, Carl. This is why I said United needs to change their recruitment and we need to start going after people that want to play for us. Maybe United fans when they're kids. That's a big place to start. Maddison, Palmer, Bowen, these sorts of guys. Why not? Okay, but yes, just on what you said there, players need moving on. So I actually think if you look at So previously, we've had loads of players that need moving on, and some of them are still here. Lindelof, Maguire, whatever. But let's just talk about the Erik Ten Hag signings that are actually good enough. I'll go through the list here, guys, and you can get on the in the live chat with a yes or no. So let's start off with Anthony Dos Santos. Yes or no? Is he good enough for the job? Is he somebody that we now need to look to sell, basically? So, is he good enough for the job? The answer is no, guys. Anthony Dos Santos is clearly not good enough, right? So he's one player that Erik Ten Hag signed, which is just a massive failure. It's cost us loads of money, and now we're going to have to try and sell. I can't imagine the next manager, whoever that is, after Rude, or if it's Rude, is going to want to persevere with that fidget spinner of a Mount, Anthony Dos Santos. So he's one down the toilet straight away, right? Mason Mount is a shite player. He really is. Super overrated Mount. Said it for years, even when he was at Chelsea. Guy's a super overrated Mount. That's been proven since he's come to Manchester United for 60 million quid. That's a debacle of a signing. Given in the number 7 shirt as well, it's a debacle. So that's a terrible signing. He's not going to amount to much. He's another person that we need to try and sell, probably at a massive cut price. Tyrell Malacia. He's fucking injury-prone Mel. We haven't seen too much of the guy. So I don't think we can say yes on him. I think that's also a no, to be honest, on Tyrell. Bit harsh. Maybe we've not seen enough. He's been out last season, whole injury, but still, we haven't seen enough, right? Andre Onana, guys, yes or no? I'm going to say no. He's not good enough. The reason being is that we had somebody already there, better. That was such piss-poor decision-making by Ten Hag to let De Gea go and then spend 50 mil on Onana. That was mental. So I'm going to say no on him as well, even though he's not doing too badly at the moment. He's not having a terrible season. Fair play to Onana. He's a decent guy, decent player, I like him, whatever, but he's not great. So no, as well. That's another player that we probably need to replace at some point. He's just not good enough. Okay, who else have we got? Mazraoui. Mazraoui, I'm going to say yes. Mazraoui looks really good. He looks a player. He's really good on the ball. He is a slight upgrade in that regard on somebody like Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka, unbelievable beast defensively, but Mazraoui is very well-rounded. So I'm going to say yes on Mazraoui. That's a good signing. Nice one. He's going to work out and do well. But we don't know still. It's early. Right? Who else are we missing here, guys? We've got, right, Xerxes. I mean, so far, Xerxes, I'm going to say no. It's early doors, to be fair to him. He's only 23. He can develop. It's still plenty of time left, obviously. But I don't think we can even really judge necessarily the brand new signings like Xerxes and Ugarte, in all fairness. But he needs time. So does Ugarte. I'm actually not even going to talk about them because you can't judge Ugarte, Xerxes, those guys too soon. Rasmus Højlund, guys. Let's talk about Rasmus Højlund. He's had over a year. He had a very good season last season. Well, I say very good. I mean good, considering it was a United side that was struggling and he was a young guy coming into a new league scoring goals. So I would say yes. I would say yes for Højlund for the future, but he's still it's not like a very firm yes. I like him, and he's got so much potential, and he's very young. So I'm going to say yes, but it's not like, he's the next best thing since Sliced Bread or anything. So yes, Højlund, yes. Who else is there, guys? De Ligt, well, there's no point judging him just yet. I think he's a very good player anyway, but there's no point judging him just yet, as I say. Anyway, we've basically gone through most of this here. All of these players, most of these players here, not all of them, but most of them are shite. Most of them we do actually have to move on now and sell, or try to sell at a cut price loss. So he has stitched us up here, big time Erik Ten Hag. It's not down to him. He's not necessarily obviously he's not doing the negotiations for these transfer dealings, but he's signing off on them. He was signing off on them and saying, yes, I will be prepared to spend 80% of my budget on Anthony. Casemiro. Oh, yeah, we forgot about Cas. Okay, well, Casemiro, not for 60 mil or 70 mil or whatever we paid for the guy, mate. What was it? How much did we pay? No, he was very good in that first season. I still think we got ourselves a good player, but, it's not exactly been amazing, but I'll say yes, actually. I did forget Cassie, yes. I'll say yes, actually, but he's old now and he's a bit over the hill. In his first season for us, he was excellent. But yeah, that's the problem, isn't it, Jonathan? Not a long-term player. And actually, when you think about the sort of signing that he is, he's a little bit of a poor signing financially speaking because, yeah, you just lose all your money once he's left the deal, once he's left the contract. Erik Ten Hag finished on Dalot, right? Okay, Dalot is another player that was good last season but has had a struggle this year. Welcome in, Raymond Moore. How you doing? Welcome in, everybody in the live chat. We got over 900 people in here right now to tune in to and discuss the news about Erik Ten Hag being sacked off by Man United, Ruud van Nistelrooy being given the interim job for now. Get your thoughts and opinions in there, guys. We're going to just get it raw into the live chat. If there is any other breaking bits and bobs of information, we'll have a look. But I mean, look, stuff like this. 11 points in 9 games in the league and goal difference of -3 for Man United in the Premier League so far, with only 8 goals scored and 11 conceded. That is why he's been sacked. It's undeniable. So it's the right decision. He's just been very poor with his performance of the team. And that's just the reason why, for an extended period of time. Every manager's going to have the odd dodgy spell here and there, the odd rough patch, but you've got to be able to show consistency over time, and he just hasn't done that. So, yeah, correct decision to get rid. Let's get stuck in. Oh, Coachy, get in there, my son, let's go! I know, I just wish I had a little lollipop to suck on, mate, to do my old Dutch Kojak impression. Who loves you, baby? Because I think he has finally sucked his last lollipop. He definitely has. Sucked his last lollipop at Man United, my son. Gungshi, how you doing? Let's go, Solitude Guard. How's you today as well? What if you get Southgate? I mean, if we get Southgate, dude, I'm just going to be absolutely gutted. Like I say, I can't get behind it. I won't get behind it or refuse. I'll just be Southgate out from the very start, which is not a very good place to be when you've appointed a new manager. And that sounds crazy to say, but I know Southgate. I've seen Southgate. I've watched Southgate coach England for years. And his style of management is pathetically gash. He might get far in competitions and grind out wins and stuff, but he's not somebody who's going to win you tournaments, win you trophies. I mean, Erik Ten Hag would be better off doing that because he's actually got a track record of doing so. He's won us the League Cup and the FA Cup. If all you want is to be a mid-table gash side and occasionally turn up to win a trophy, like a cup tournament, then yeah, Ten Hag probably be better off to stick to, in all fairness, than Southgate stick with. But we don't want that. What we want is somebody that can be consistent across the board, really, that can actually get us to perform in the league to a good level week to week. There's going to be an odd blip here and there, but generally. And then obviously in Europe, we need to do a lot better in Europe. That was supposed to be one of the big plus points of Erik Ten Hag, is that he's got this European experience. He managed to get that Ajax side in 2017, or whatever the bloody hell it was, to the semi-finals, and always got some great European pedigree because of that. So it's a nonsense, really. He's done shite in Europe for us. He really has done bad. Brendan Rodgers, oh my God, he's a beautiful human being and a really nice guy. Just a really great tactician. The reaction video yesterday, though, was hilarious, not going to lie. Oh, thank you, Chris Koo. Well, I'm just buzzing now that he's gone. It's not going to stop the fact that we've had a terrible start to the season. Literally, this is the worst start to the season we've basically ever had in my life. So it's not going to change that. We're playing catch-up now. Make no mistake, it's going to be very difficult for Ruud to chip away and start getting up the league. And we've got Chelsea next in the league. So it's going to be difficult for us to actually get up there. Let's ask the chat this. So it's kind of a stupid question because the team, that's the club, it's in such a position of turmoil. But I'll ask it anyway. Where do you think Man United finish this season now? So with Erik Ten Hag gone, Ruud in, I guess it depends who we actually have as our manager going forward long term. But, I think the best we can hope for this season now would be about 7th. I think 7th is about the best we could hope for. People talking about a potential run for top 4. I don't see it happening. I think the best case scenario would be 7th. But I can see us finishing 8th, 9th, somewhere like that. But I'm going to say best we're going for 7th. 16th, says Tayab. Mid-table, says Don. Wow. 10th, 15th, 8th, 10th. Not relegated. Relegation. 14th, 10th, 16th, 10th. 10th. Fair enough. Most people saying 10th. 8th will be a good result. Yeah, I actually agree with you, Stinging. I think if we had Ruud van Nistelrooy winning games and, just chipping away and clawing his way up the league, and we finish in 8th, considering the start with a quarter of the season gone up to now, I think that's probably where we're probably going to be at, really. It would take some incredible run now for us to really go and get something like top 4. It'd take an incredible run, which could happen. With Ten Hag, you could have finished first. What, in the Championship next season, you mean, Nad? What? 8th? Yeah. 6th, 5th? You'd accept top 10, says Lim. 17th? You doubt they even improve with Ten Hag gone? I don't know. I mean, I think it was quite clear, personally, I think so, that some of these players were not happy with what they were being asked to do in this system with the team. So once the shackles have been released to that degree, I think you'll see a much better attitude from some of the players. Rooney in, Mr. Pig, United DNA. Rooney's got a lot to prove in the game. I like Wayne Rooney. What a guy. But he's got a shitload to prove in the game first before he gets any big jobs like that. If you're going to go for ex-Man United people, then it's got to be people like McKenna or Carrick. I give it Carrick, actually, out of the choices of ex-players. I give it Mickey C. You believe in Ruud? I do too. We've got to give Ruud van Nistelrooy a fair chance here as well. He is in the job to be able to prove himself. Ruud at the wheel. Yeah, bring Carrick to the team. Sunderland joining next season. Time to bring in Moo again. Carrick in. Well, it does pose the question, who is going to be our next permanent manager? Ruud's got the chance now. But as we've said, if you're just getting in here and want to look at the sort of the favourites for the job, from top to bottom, Ruud van Nistelrooy is the most favourite at the moment. And then Ruben Amorim, Southgate, Xavi, Thomas Frank, Carrick, McKenna, Potter, Allegri, Zidane, Inzaghi, De Zerbi, and then there's a few other wild cards out there as well that aren't even in that list. So it's quite interesting. There's a lot to choose from. I still think what's best for United to do right now is to wait it out a little bit, give it to an interim. Ruud van Nistelrooy's got it. Let him do what he can do. If he does brilliantly, maybe you give him the job permanently. But at least it gives you time until now the end of the season to maybe find the right permanent manager. What you don't want to do is just appoint who's the best of the best that's available. You want to get the right man for the job. So whether that could be in the future, if somebody comes available like an Eddie Howe or an Unai Emery or a Carlo Ancelotti or something like that, then you can pounce and you've just got an interim in charge. And so there's no issues with having to, compensate managers or having to keep a manager even though there's a better manager out there that's become available. So yeah, the top clear managers, are not really available right now. Roberto Mancini. Roberto Mancini is undoubtedly a good manager, right? But I don't like him because he's an ex-City scum and melt lad. You know what I mean? So I don't really like him. What about Mr. Piggy for next manager? I'd give it a go, my son. Bring in Arsene Wenger. You guys didn't trust the process enough. I think we trusted the process too much, Trav, to be honest. We trusted it for years, even though we weren't playing well. Conte and Flick were both available. Exactly, yeah, look at that. He could have got Flick in there. Exactly, look, so he goes in short term and does bits. Why can't a new manager come in with the current set of players we've got and do that? Why is Roy Keane not coming out your mouth big? Because, his track record, who's he managed? Ipswich, Sunderland. I mean, he did all right, didn't he? I like Roy Keane. I love Roy Keane. Love him. But has he got the CV to back up really justifying getting the United job? I don't think so, personally. I don't think so. Not saying Rude does either. But they won't give it to Roy Keane anyway. He's just too volatile. They won't do that. If Rude win next 5 games, give him a 6-year deal. David Beckham, that would be a conflict of interest with his FC Miami team. Hello there, William Hoy. How have you been, you legend? Yes, dude. I mean, Arsene Wenger is undoubtedly one of the greatest coaches to manage within the English game. But no, I mean, he wouldn't. I don't think he'd take the job anyway, even if he was realistic. He wouldn't take the job, mate, surely. I loved Arsene Wenger's style of football, though, even towards the end of his time when Arsenal were just sort of like playing for the top 4 trophy every year. You can't deny his style was always attacking with an emphasis on, good passing, attacking football. Nagelsmann, yeah, I rate Nagelsmann as well, absolutely. Yeah, he could be available in the future, you see, absolutely. You're getting Southgate, the perfect yes man. What about Gary Neville? He did well at Valencia. Oh, my God. Most of the players in United are so lazy. Well, that's true. Some of them could do with a cattle prod to the ball bag, i.e. Rashi. Carrick is looking gash pig, take him off us. You reckon? I disagree with you, Craig Cornolio. I think he's going to be a good manager, that guy. He's green in management. He's not had a lot of time in management, but what he has done so far is good. Diogo says, I'm going to miss your rant, so sorry about that, Diogo, lad. Rude has been here all season. Ten Hag too stubborn to listen to him, or Rude also part of the problem? I don't think there's that much that Ruud van Nistelrooy could have done to change things. Ten Hag's the chef end of the day. Ten Hag's the head chef, and it falls on him. Thank you, Ashy Jr., for subscribing to the channel, lad. Yes, and also Rin, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe if you're new. I'm going to stick on there for about 10 minutes, guys, and get into the live chat a bit more, so stick around, have your say. Get subscribed so you can chat and smash a like. We've just hit 400 likes. Let's try and get 500 on this Ten Hag sacked by Man United news video. Get in there, my son. Let's read a few more of your comments out. Hit the sub up if you're new, and smash a like. Cheers. Erik Ten Hag has broken the City Blue Moon Forum. They're obviously in mourning. Oh man, they will be very, very upset about Ten Hag going, I'm sure. Bring Ralph back. Oh my God, if they bring Southgate in, I'm going on a manhunt. I'm with you, boss. I just can't really get behind that. How about Ted Lasso? That would be good, David Hernan. I'd love Ted Lasso to come in there. But only if he's prepared to sign this guy, mate. Football is life! Nice comment, mate. Just happened to be wearing my Ted Lasso t-shirt. Bring Ten Hag back. James Riley says, hit the likes. Thank you, boss. Not right now, Heath. Sorry, lad. It's too early for that. The way to start a Monday for Piggy. Yes, Peter. You'll get your kit. Follow us a bit more close and you'll see he ain't doing much with a good squad. Yeah. Okay, all right. You mean Bill at Middlesbrough. Well, that's my bad. I mean, I don't follow you that much closer. No, I just hear it from legends like Sean Nettleton. One of my mods is a Middlesbrough fan, and he tells me Carrick's are doing well. So, Amorim, yes, Amorim's right top of the list there, right near the top of the list. I'd rather give it to Amorim than Southgate, 100%. Give it Amorim over Southgate. At least he has potential to do great things. Southgate's just going to be a proven wet lettuce paper bag head jobby. Can't see Southgate, to be honest. Nah, I can't. They wouldn't do it because they just get most of the fan base against them. Ineos, if they appointed Southgate, would just basically make themselves public enemy number one. Everyone would be like, why the fuck have you appointed Gareth Southgate? Give Allardyce the job. Ollie back. Well, Ollie's definitely not coming back now because they've given the interim job to Rude. So get Slabo from his coaching badges. No, the most realistic targets are on this list here. These are the most realistic targets. People who are sort of semi-available or at lesser clubs. People like Thomas Frank, Michael Carrick, Ruben Amorim. Xavi even, I suppose, is quite favourable at the moment from terms of the bookmakers. Oh, that's awesome. Yes, Chris Koo. Got a lovely signature on there. Thank you, Chris Koo, for ordering one. You're a legend. Yes, so most of the T-shirts that I sent out on Friday or whatever they are being delivered today. So pleased to hear you got yours. Zane got his as well. Once again, guys, I'll just say, if you want to get yourself a cheeky little T-shirt from eBay and support the show, you can do by clicking this link right here in the live chat, guys. That is my eBay shop. I'll just pin it to the top of live chat. Yeah, nice one. Okay, guys, so, yes, you're the greatest football YouTuber in history. Thanks, Arn. Hopefully Southgate doesn't get a link with United. Well, he has been heavily linked, but hopefully not anymore now, yeah. You bet 10 Gash assistants are available. United don't need baby faces, Shrewd Van Nistelrooy. Oh, I love that. Shrewd Van Nistelrooy, come on. Moyes, Van Gaal, Marino, Ollie, Ralph Ten Hag sacking more managers and winning trophies. Not really the normal one. That's actually quite a long period of time. 10 years. 10 years, Okay, that's more managers than we would like to have. But don't start trying to write the narrative in your mind that Man United's a sacking club. Because we're actually not. We're really not. I mean, if you think about Fergie as well, like 26 years at the club or whatever it was, it's like I'm sure if you go back to the early 90s, including the Fergie spell, and even after, we're probably one of the teams that sacks the managers the least. In fact, we're number one on sacking the manager the least because we had Fergie for that time. So, we're not really a sacking club. It's just that when it comes to the point of no return, where it's just ridiculous, you've got to make the decision. But I think we actually do give managers more times than most. Perhaps Moyes is the only one that didn't really get that service. Abano Valdez, thank you so much for the $49.99 super chat there, my son. Get in there. Let's go celebrate good times. Ten Hag's gone. Dutch Kojak out. Let's go, Urbano. It's a good day. Bye-bye, Baldy. Let's go, Urbano. Thank you so much, my son. You're a legend. Guys, get some mad loves in there, please, for Urbano, who's just sent a $50 Make Your Hollow super chat. Thank you for that, dude. Awesome. You're a legend, lad. We won 7 trophies in 10 years and sacked 5 managers, so it's factually wrong. What does that even mean, though? So, in terms of, okay, we've won trophies in 10 years. We have won some trophies, but the trophies that we've won are not really the best trophies, are they? They're not the Premier League titles. They're not the Champions League trophies. So that's what we're striving towards. What's the Wally with a body doing these days? Well, apparently he's still involved, mate. I don't think anybody's been let go. Can you please take Big Ange? Hey, BNG Darts, good day from down under, mate. We'll miss the gilet. I'm so looking forward to seeing the next manager in the dugout without a gilet. I bet you Ruud van Nistelrooy wears a gilet on his first game. Bald fraud out. Took Sir Alex 4 years before he won the FA Cup. True. Different time, different era. Absolutely true. Mason Mount equals go. We should sign. Oh my God, Flick wasn't good with Germany, but great with club. Yeah, interesting. Another lease of life for Rashford. Bielsa. It all started with Zaha bonking Moyes' daughter. Piggy West Ham will forever now hold a place in my heart. Right, fair enough there, Twisted Fate. That was the final nail in the coffin, wasn't it? Mrs. P? Mrs. P? Come here, darling. Mrs. P! Mrs. P! Thank you very much for smashing that like button there, Lou Man, you legend. Come here, Mrs. P. Oh, wow, you look nice, Sheeny. Come here, Mrs. P.
I'm not going.
No, not on camera, but just come here and talk near the microphone. Erik Ten Hag has been sacked, Mrs. P. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you think it was justified?
Yeah, I'm surprised they kept him there that long, in the sense that they were a bit more harsher on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in comparison to Ten Hag, weren't they?
Well, I guess they probably got similar amounts of time, but yeah, I mean, it seemed like they were just sticking with Ten Hag regardless of performances up to a point, and it seemed like it was just down to like a trophy. Like Ollie got to a Europa final and then was sacked, even though he only lost on penalties.
Hey, everyone.
But Ten Hag won the FA Cup amidst a shite season, but they kept him, so they didn't get the same treatment.
Some
No.
other teams are clear-cut ruthless when it comes to managers. Like they'll fail a couple of games and they get rid of them. So, but with ours, it takes us to be that far down in the league, losing that amount of games to finally say, oh, maybe he's not the right match of the team. I think he should have gone a while ago.
Yeah, I kind of like that about a club, that we give chances to managers, but also, like you say, other clubs way more ruthless. Like, could you imagine Chelsea giving Ten Hag the money and the years that he's had? I mean, definitely not. He'd have been out the door after a few months.
I mean, I'm all for giving someone a chance, but when we're getting to that far down in the league, very low, I think it's time to call it a day.
Yeah, good shout, Mrs. P. I like your style. Kenneth says Mrs. P better than half the pundits on TV. Nice one, Kenneth.
Thank you, Kenneth.
Mrs. P in charge as assistant. Let's go. Mrs. P for manager.
I'd like that. There'd be lots of snacks at half time if I was on board.
Mrs. P would have everyone fattening up on the cake diet. Definitely. Luke Shaw's Frey Bentos diet would be changed to a cake diet. De Gea could not save a single pen in like 13 pens. Fans playing on me. Yeah, I mean, he did have a mare in that shootout, but De Gea, what a player.
Everyone.
All right, thanks, Mrs. P. Thank you, Mrs. P, for getting in here and giving your opinion there. Nice one. Give it Giggsy to another season. He got the job at a technicality of a legend who recommended you. Red panty night tonight, sure. Oh, absolutely. Luke Shaw putting in the good word now. Anyway, guys. What's what I got to do these days? Anyway, guys, I'm basically going to wrap this vid up here. But I just had to jump on and discuss the breaking news about Erik Ten Hag being sacked by Man United. Get in there, my son! Ruud van Nistelrooy is the interim. You know, it's sad. It's sad, guys. It's always sad when we sack a manager. But it was justified. It's come to the point of no return for Erik Ten Hag. So there you go. They've made the right decision. He's got his lovely golden handshake. He'll probably end up, I don't know, what sort of club do you think Erik Ten Hag's going to go and manage next, guys? Let's ask the chat, guys. What's next for Erik Ten Hag? I could see him chilling out for the next year, just absolutely chilling out, beaching it up, smoking loads of high-quality herbs, and just chilling with 17 million in the bank, and then Ajax come back and knock in, and it's just a perfect fit for everyone, isn't it? Yeah, I could see him go. Ajax... Ajax, Real Madrid. You watch him go Madrid. Could you imagine that if they put him in Madrid? Ajax, back at the Dutch league. Yeah, exactly. That's right. You know it. Yeah, that's right. Thomas. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. But thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Come back after this video is finished and get your thoughts and opinions in the not live comment section about Erik Ten Hag. What's going on, JW Legend? Yes, return to Ajax with all his compensation money from Man United. Don't feel sorry for Erik Ten Hag, guys. He's just won the lottery and he was given more time and resources than most to do the job, and he failed. So don't feel too bad. Thank you so much, though, to everybody for tuning in and getting in here for this big breaking news show. There it is. Erik Ten Hag, no longer the manager of Manchester United. He has been let go finally after just a horrendous spell and run of games. 14th in the league, -3 goal difference, only 8 goals scored. Pathetic record in Europe going back into last season as well. The time was right to get rid. Get in there, my son. Finally, they've done it. Now we can hopefully start to move forward and progress again now. Somebody else with a different vision, different approach. Ruud van Nistelrooy is the interim. Hopefully he can oversee a change in mentality in the way that we play. And then if it doesn't work out with Ruud, then, well, at least now Ten Hag's no longer here, so we can start to plan for the future and bring in who's necessary to get the job done, who we think would be good, and then hopefully start to move forward again, because I think it's clear Ten Hag's just taken us backwards for a long time. Cheers, everyone, for getting in here. Thank you, Ronster, Lent, Peter Krug. Make sure you guys smash that like button before you go. Hit the sub up if new. Come back and have your say afterwards. Follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. And thanks for getting in, everyone. Must play, Harry, JW, Gungshi, your legend. Big up all the moderators in blue, like Chris Koo. Yeah, we do have to get rid of that Erik Ten Hag emoji. Yes, we do. I think that was probably the least used emoji anyway. Nice one, Lynch, Sphinxu, Denzel, Mustafa, Bubbles, Raymond, Hansi, Chris, Must Play, all the members in green. Thanks for supporting the channel by being members. Thank you, everyone in blue, for moderating the chat. And all the rest of the legends, thanks for chatting with me and getting in there raw. You're a bunch of legends. Have a good one. Come back after and have your say, and I'll see you on the next one. And remember, Piggy loves you. Ding dong, the Wicked Witch is dead. See you later on, folks. And remember, when the seagulls follows the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, my son.